Hello, Mike Jack. Hello. Hello, Mike Jack. Hello. This is Paul Smith. I'm going to start my podcast. Hello, Mike Jack. Hello. This is Paul Smith. I'm going to start my podcast. Okay, so I guess that's going to be it for right now. Let's see. Kill that. Kill that. Okay. Let's see. Studio. Okay. Transition. Hi. Okay. This is Paul Smith, and I am going to do my podcast for the first time in probably about a year. We're going to be looking at Famitsu magazine. In the past year, I still picked up Famitsu about every week. I just had really no desire to do any streaming. So it's been a rough year. So yeah, let's check out this first issue back of Famitsu. Weekly Famitsu comes out once a week. Usually the magazine is pretty thick with a lot of information. Some of my favorite parts are looking at the top video games of the week and previews into what's coming up and stuff like that. So I also like what this issue is featuring, which is looks back at old games for their anniversaries. This is the 20th anniversary of the game Ico, one of my favorite Japanese games. And yeah, let's take a look at the issue. As you'll see, this first issue, this issue has some really great design on the front of it. This is the 20th anniversary, and there's a 40-page look at the game Ico with some good interviews and stuff like that. So we're going to open up the magazine. We get the table of contents here. We're going to also get some Elden Ring feature in here as well. So that's pretty exciting. So right away, we're right here into the top 30 games of the week. I'm going to go through the top 10 at least, just because we haven't done this in quite a while. So number one is Shin Megami Tensei 5, the new game for Nintendo Switch. I think we all knew that this was going to be a huge game in Japan, and from what it sounds like, it's pretty big over in the US as well, and probably Europe. I'm not really sure about the European market, but in Japan, Shin Megami Tensei is a huge series, and if you don't know, Persona spinned off from Shin Megami Tensei, and there's also been some other spin-offs as well. Last year, the Switch had a game called Nocturne, which is Nocturne 3, I believe, which is also a spin-off of the Shin Megami Tensei series. Number two is Mario Party Superstars. For people who are into Mario Party games, I've heard that that's pretty good. I've seen a couple of streams about that game. Number three is Dragon Quest X. Dragon Quest X has been off and on going in Japan since the Wii, I believe. Yeah, the original Wii is where Dragon Quest X came out. They ported it to Wii U. Of course, it's on PC, PlayStation 4, Switch, PlayStation 5, maybe? I'm not really even sure. Might be on PlayStation 3. I'm not really sure about that either. But it's been around for quite a while. And they keep on updating the game with new expansions and stuff like that. So this is the newest expansion that just came out. Looks like it came out on the 11th of last month. So they got some information on that. Ring Fit Adventure is number 4. Ring Fit Adventure has been on this weekly top 30 for a really long time. Something you'll notice about the weekly top 30 that was prevalent when I was doing these podcasts every week a year ago or so is that the Japanese market is almost 100% Switch. You can see a few PS4 games, one PS5 game on this list, but for the most part, there's a lot of weeks that'll go by where this list is nothing but Switch games with maybe one PS4 game. Now, they don't track PC games. I think the PC market is probably pretty active in Japan. I know even a lot of my students have gaming PCs and stuff like that. So I think the PC market is probably pretty healthy here, but they just don't track that in Famitsu. Number 5 is Dragon Quest X, the PlayStation 4 version. Number 6 is Call of Duty Vanguard. From what I've heard, this game is bombing pretty hard. And when did it debut in Japan? Yeah, it came out the 5th. So this is probably its second or third week in Famitsu. And Call of Duty is a pretty popular game over here. I'm not saying that it's hugely popular, but a lot of people I know play Call of Duty. So those numbers really aren't super healthy. It looks like just in this last week, it sold 11,000 copies, and it's got 40,000 copies total. That would mean that if it's been in this magazine for the second week, yeah, it was at number 2 last week. So it sold 30,000 copies. If we look at the number 2 in this issue, it's Mario Party Superstars with 45,000 copies. So I don't really think those are the healthiest of sales for a Call of Duty game, really. But going past that, number 7 is Animal Crossing, 9,000 copies. Almost 7 million, I think that number is. 7 million copies lifetime sales. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 8. Mario Kart 8 has been on this list since its debut. Number 9 is Minecraft, the Switch version. Minecraft is super popular over here like it is the rest of the world. And number 10 is Smash Brothers Deluxe? What is it called in America? I forget. I think it's Deluxe. I'm not really sure. But it's called Super Smash Brothers Special over here. Is there anything else? Super Robot Tyson is number 14. That's the new version of that. What else? I don't know what Yurukan Have a Nice Day is, but the Switch and the PlayStation 4 version seem to be doing well. Yeah, the rest of it is pretty normal stuff. Let's look at the next page, and we'll see on the left-hand side there, the weekly top 30 most anticipated games. So number 1, Final Fantasy 16. Is that what that number is? 16? Yeah. For PlayStation 5. Bayonetta 3 is also, people are looking forward to that on the Switch. Splatoon 3 is number 3. When is that set to come out? It just says 2022. So Splatoon's a huge game in Japan. I would say that Splatoon has, for a Nintendo game, it has quite a large competitive scene. I would say it's probably almost as healthy as Smash Brothers in Japan. I don't really know about in America. I don't think there's much of a competitive scene in America, but in Japan, it's got a very competitive scene. Number 4 is the new Breath of the Wild game, and number 5. Are they making another Dragon Quest? Yes, they're making another Dragon Quest X. What do you call it? Expansion. So that's the 5th most popular game for the expansion for Dragon Quest is the 5th most popular game for the Switch. Number 6, Pokemon Legends. Number 7 is Triangle Strategy. If you will look over on the other page here, this shows the most anticipated, they call it rookies. So these are all going to be games that don't have any kind of sequels. They aren't sequels or anything like that. So they're all original properties. Number 1 is Pragmata. That's the PlayStation 5 game that Capcom is making. Number 2 is a game called Ushiro. It's a level 5 game that's been in development hell since, I think, the 3DS, maybe PSP. No, it wasn't the PSP. I think it was the 3DS or the Vita. And it's kind of bounced from system to system. It's kind of a joke in this magazine, I think. It's always towards the top of the most anticipated rookie list, but I think even the Japanese audience kind of understand that maybe it'll just never come out. And so its place on here, in my opinion, is more of a joke than reality. Now, Level 5 makes great games, and I think people are anticipating it if it ever does come to fruition. But I just don't think that a lot of people have that much confidence that it is going to come to fruition. Number 3, Triangle Strategy. This is the newest, I believe it's a Final Fantasy Tactics sort of game from Square. I'm definitely looking forward to that. That's really good. If you see me pausing, this is me consciously trying to make myself stop from saying so much. That's something I noticed when I did this podcast in the past. So, and I know that I'm doing a lot of uhs as well. Number 4, Anonymous Code. Anonymous Code. Not really sure what that is. Publisher is called Mages, and that's for the Switch. I'm going to have to do some research on a lot of the stuff that's going on in here. Yeah, it looks like it's coming to other platforms as well. Looks like PlayStation 4 is number 7. Elden Ring is at number 5 and 6 for the PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. I would suspect that for the foreseeable future, when that game does come out, the PlayStation 4 game is probably going to be doing better than the PlayStation 5, because PlayStation 5s are still pretty hard to come across over here. I've been looking for a Nintendo Switch OLED myself for quite a while, and it looks like they're starting to get them in certain places, but I still haven't been able to get my hands on one. So let me just look over my chat. Looks good. Okay, so here we are in the feature. This is a nice 2-page spread of Eco and The princess. I'm not even really sure their names. So yeah, introduction here into the game. I'm guessing. Yeah. Kimi wa soko ni ita. Yeah. I was over there, something like that. Yeah, so don't let go of my hand. Ooh, this is a really nice picture down here. I like that stylized picture. So I'm gonna read through this in more detail. Practice up my Japanese a little bit. I love this game so much. I may love Eco more than Shadow of the Colossus. Yeah. Sorry, the camera might get. I'm doing this off of a pretty crappy just webcam. So both of my webcams really aren't that great. I would like to get a nice DSLR sometime to be able to to view the magazine, but someday. So here it looks like we can see some development drawings of how the game is going to run. Pretty sweet. Yeah, some pretty in detail pictures here of the worlds, the game, mechanics, and stuff like that. It's kind of nice seeing these kind of dev diaries. These are some. I don't know if it comes up in the camera. Yeah, you can see it a little bit in the video of this, but these pictures here have some coloring to them. They look quite nice. Over here looks like storyboarding with some notes written off to the side. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's really this is really well done. This feature that they've put together. Here we have Gen Design. So Ueda was the director of the games, and it looks like this Horagani-san was also on the Eco team. But it looks like he started at Dragon Quest, making Dragon Quest games, if I'm reading that right. So this is just an interview with those two guys. Ueda is definitely the name that we always see associated with Team Eco. I'm not sure if this Gen Design? What was it again? Gen Design. I'm not sure if that's their new company. Maybe. Let's see. Create a commento. So it looks like these are more creators. Okay, so these are famous people that they've asked about the game Eco. So here we have Yonezu Kenshi. He's one of the biggest musicians in Japan right now. Johnny Greenwood of Radiohead. You should know. Oshima Michiru. Looks like she's also a songwriter. I'm not really familiar with her. Guillermo del Toro. Miyabe Miyuki. She's a novel writer. Azuno Inio writes manga. Oima Yoshitomo also writes manga. What is this? Miyazaki Hidetaka, From Software director. So the Miyazaki guy that makes all the From Software games. Yoko Taro. Genova Chen of That Game Company. Neil Druckmann from Naughty Dog. So they've interviewed all these people and asked them their thoughts on Eco. How Eco has impacted their games, stuff like that. So these look like all quotes that they've gathered from people. Yeah, it doesn't really say who the writers are. Let's see. Oh, this is Players. So Players Omoide. This is Players Memories. So I don't know where they gathered these. Maybe through the magazine. Once again, we have this the cover picture over here. I think this is a really, really nice picture. I might cut it out and put it in something. So yeah, that's the huge feature for Eco. I think that they did a pretty good job. A lot of information about how the game was made, stuff like that. So moving on, we have 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is coming out to the Nintendo Switch. I still haven't played this game. I think it's still on sale on the PlayStation Store, which is I think where I will buy it. I'm not sure how it would run on my Switch, and having lost my Switch on an airplane, and I ended up buying a Switch Lite. I don't really like playing anything. I don't really like playing many things on the Switch Lite. The Switch Lite is really good for some things, but there's other things that I just want to play on my TV. And I think 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim is a game that I want to play on a huge screen where I can gasp over how gorgeous the game looks. It doesn't seem like the kind of game that I would want to play on my Switch Lite. So I'm kind of waiting until I can get my hands on a Nintendo Switch OLED. So here's information about that game. I'm not really sure if they're changing anything at all with that game. They might have some information in here. Yeah, this says the Switch version. So there may be very much things. Yeah, so this is additions. Yeah, so they are adding some things to the game, it looks like. I don't know if those things are meaningful at all. Next thing we have here, Eve Ghost Enemies. This is an adventure game, so it's probably some kind of a anime adventure. So over here, yeah, they have people send in lots of stuff, and they give them points and prizes and stuff like that. This is a manga that's in this magazine every week. This programming thing that Nintendo put out, I wish I could have talked about it on one of these podcasts, but it seems really interesting. It's been selling pretty well in Japan, I think, as well. So, Altier Sophie 2, Sophia no Altier 2. Who is this? RPG Koei Tecmo Games. So I don't know much about this. The art looks really gorgeous here. Lots of cute anime girls wearing cute outfits. Cute anime boys wearing outfits. Over here we have Kobayashi Sanchi no Maydoragon. Maydragon. Okay. Not really sure what this is. PlayStation 4 and Switch. It says it's a shooting game. Oh, it's a shooter. It's a like top-down shooter. Huh. Interesting. And possibly looks like it can be played multiplayer. Oh, no. There's 3 different characters that you can play as. I mean, it may be played multiplayer, but I just misunderstood that right then. Next, we have... What is this? There's no real introduction to it. This is a PC game. Looks like it's a Final Fantasy style simulations tactics kind of game. What is this? Utawareru mono? Is that the name of the game, I guess? Maybe. Utawareru mono rosto flag. Lost flag. Okay. So this is the mobile version, but over here they're showing something else. Oh, so maybe this is just a rundown on the series. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, so it looks like there's been 1,000 games on different things. And then over here there's a new Android iOS game coming out. And this is all information about that. And then over here, maybe a new anime is coming out as well. And over here, more information about a game, Monchrome Mebius. Monchrome Mebius. No, yeah. So whatever this game is like way ahead of its time, or way ahead of where they have any information on it, because what is this? So it's in the same series, Utaware Mono. No idea. I'm at a loss. So there's a lot of games out there that are made for Japan and only Japan. And whenever I listen to American podcasts and I hear Americans talk about Nintendo games and Japanese games, there's part of me that becomes furious at times, because I would like to just appear on the podcast and in that moment and just say, it's not for you. a lot of American podcasts are like, well, why does Japan put out this? This isn't what people want, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, it is. It's what Japanese people want. This is why they make games for Japanese people. And if the rest of the world buys them, then great. But if they don't, that's okay, because the Japanese public will buy them, and that's probably enough money to make them some money. But yeah, a lot of times people just don't get it. This looks like yawaraka atama juku. Ishani atama no stretch. Yeah, so this looks like some kind of a brain training type game. I think this is done by Nintendo. Yeah, so I saw this advertised online. I'm friends with Nintendo Online, and so they send out a lot of advertisements for their games. And so the one that they're advertising right now is this one. These kind of brain training games were huge on the DS and 3DS, and it looks like they're making some for the Switch now. Next, Magic Castle 2, My Happy Life. So it just says it's a simulation game. I don't really know what the hell this game is. It looks like it's the second one coming out for Nintendo Switch. Street Fighter 5 Champion Edition. So they're putting out a new version of this game. Looks like Luke is getting added. Not really sure who he is, but for people who like that, enjoy that. I got an interview here with Power Pro. Yeah, Power Pro is a huge series over here. I was just talking to one of my students about Power Pro. He loves that game. I was asking him what game he's been playing, and he said that. So these are things that you can buy or get free for doing some kind of a survey, but they also sell them in some ways. Inscription. So this is the indie corner. Every single week they do one of these indie looks at games. So Inscription is the game that they're looking at from Devolver Digital. $20 in Japan. I would assume that it's got a Japanese version here. They usually don't talk about games that don't have Japanese versions. They do sometimes, definitely. But for a game like Inscription that has so much text and stuff like that. Oh, no. Here. There's Japanese written right here. So, yeah. This seems like something that'd be really popular over here. Japanese people do love... Japanese video game players probably cross with collectible card game players quite a bit. So here is the Elden Ring feature. We can see a nice screenshot here. Some more gorgeous screenshots here. Little bits of information. They're real good at tearing up all these screenshots and seeing all the little tiny things in them that most of us would miss. Going into the battle system over here. More into the different types of characters that you'll be able to play. So they did a beta test, evidently. So in the beta test, they did a preset of these character types. It sounds to me like you'll be able to like tweak what your characters... Yeah, what your characters exactly are. So it says that they're kind of reviewing the beta test here. Okay, interesting. Genshin Impact is still quite popular over here. This guy, he usually picks out one game every month and really kind of goes into a deep dive on that. Looks like he's doing Pikmin Bloom. So this girl, she does kind of the same thing. Yeah. This guy's column is usually talking about like really, really in-depth stuff. So I tend to like just kind of space over his article, but it's really interesting stuff, and he goes into a lot of the tech stuff behind games a lot. They always do this Arcade Archives. I think it's an ad more than anything. but they're just kind of like talking about what the next thing coming out from them is. I always finish off the episode with that. This is more of that. So here we have a few of the reviews. Famitsu reviews have always been pretty sought after for they usually get they'll review stuff a lot of times before any place else gets them, so you get a good look at how games are going to be. They don't generally print that many reviews in the magazine anymore. I think most of them go up on the website, but so here's some reviews. I don't really recognize any of these. Wasurei de otona ni natte mo. Yeah. YouTuber's life. No idea. Yeah. So here's all the games that are going to be coming out. They do a pretty good job of showing you what's coming out in the next month or so. Every once in a while, they have these profiles on certain famous people in Japan. Looks like this woman is from Morning Musume. What else? Ooh, there's a couple of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim books. A profile on Q Games over here. So the three guys behind Q Games in Kyoto. So Dylan Cuthbert, Nishikawa Ryuji, and Maeda Kazushi. So he's the CCO. He's the creative director. Okay. What do we got over here? Just some more stuff. So this tells you about how consoles are selling. Looks like regular Nintendo Switch is doing pretty well. Nintendo Switch EL is doing pretty well. It's still going up. Nintendo Switch Lite looks like it's started up here and it's gone down pretty far. PlayStation 5, I would guess, is up and down just because of product strains. Series S is selling the best out of the two Xboxes here. PlayStation 4 is still selling pretty well. Nintendo 2DS LL is selling okay. 417 systems in the last week. Xbox Series X is then selling 350, sold 350. And the final one is PlayStation 5, the digital edition, the one without a disc. You got to understand about Japan is that people still buy physical copies here quite a bit. Because, well, first, what I will say is that Japan has never had a rental market for video games, and so people are used to buying and selling games all the time. And so when people buy a new game, they will go and sell it as soon as they've finished it. And so the used game market in Japan is still pretty healthy from what I know. Okay. So yeah, the digital market, people do buy digital games and digital games are getting more popular. It's just that I think people tend to buy physical more than that. So my favorite part is what is new at the convenience stores. So we have 3 different bentos here. These are all pretty nice, or these 2 are pretty nice looking bentos. This one's pretty general. So this one's sweet and sour pork. This one's chicken steak with seasonal foods, whatever. This one is grilled beef, which you don't really find that much in Japan. Grilled beef in bentos like that. Down here, kimchi flavored cup noodle, which sounds pretty good. Down here, a new miso ramen cup noodle, and then curry udon down here. I haven't had a curry udon cup noodle in quite a while. What do we got over here? Beef meat pie at Lawson. That's kind of interesting because I just went to Costco yesterday, and one of the new menu items is meat pie there as well. So there must have been something on TV recently where Japanese people became aware of meat pies. Rice burger, double cheese, beef hamburger at Lawson. That looks pretty good. Mapo tofu. What is this? Strawberry candle cake. So it looks like a candle. Karamucho. These are spicy potato fries. I think that they always have those. I don't know why it's being shown in here. Yeah, those don't seem very special. Down here, what do we have? Spicy miso flavored senbei. Yeah, those are usually pretty good. And then the last thing is little cocoa balls. Yeah. So, that is Famitsu magazine for the week of, what is it? December 4th, December 3rd, I guess. I'll call it Friday. December 3rd. Yeah, it was a pretty good magazine. I want to try and get into doing these every week again. So if you enjoyed this, put a comment on my Twitch. You can find me there at OWR Games, or my personal Twitch at SOPachuco13. I don't really check Facebook, so if you're watching this on Facebook, sorry. I'm gonna try and figure out what to do with that. I've been feeling more and more like I want to just delete my Facebook recently. So Twitter is probably the best place to get a hold of me. OWR Games there, or SOPACHUCO13. But yeah, say what's up. If you're watching the archive of this on YouTube, I'm just going to put the archive up as is. I want to start doing a little bit more production, but I just wanted to kind of get myself off the ground again, and in the habit of doing this every week. So give me some love and tell me I'm great. So I'm signing off for today. I hope you enjoyed looking at this week's Famitsu, and we'll see you